Hey guys, Cloudwolf here, and I'm back today with part 2 of how to build an adventure map. And if you didn't catch part 1, the link is in the description of this video. It was pretty long. I sped up a lot of stuff, but we went over how to some kind of essentials to maps. Some of the 5 or 6, uh, I think it was 5 essential elements that I like to include in a map that is good to include in a map. So anyway, today we're going over, and what we did was we built this house and we had an idea that you're going to, just as a recap, that you lose your items and you find this trail behind your house and you're going to follow your trail and try to look for, get your items back pretty much because they were stolen. Anyway, so we have this nice house, you have your chest, whatever, and I haven't done any work on this. I plan to do all the work on this on camera. And we're gonna be talking through it and whatnot. And I don't know why there's a cave here, right where our path is. That's suspicious. Maybe he came from there. Anyway, but so far we have you find your stuff, it's gone, and basically my logic behind how I do things, at least how I make my maps, is I go about knowing the story, so I build the things that need to be there for the story, and then I make the story after the build is there. That way it's a lot easier to incorporate instead of going as I go. So it's just like we can assume, okay, so we play the role, we're the character. Oh, there's a train, guys. I like trains. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do anything that troll. Okay, so anyway, so there's a train in the background of if you heard it. I'm not sure if my mic picked it up. But anyway, so we're just assuming the role, and I'm not, and the monologue and the dialogue goes on through my head as I think about it. Like, oh, where's my stuff? Okay, we're gonna follow this pathway. And I don't know if any of this makes sense to you guys because I think I am crazy. That's probably true. I'm not going to see a psychiatrist because I don't want to end up in a psych ward. Because that's no fun. You can't make Minecraft maps in a psych ward. Anyway, so you follow this trail and you find this cave. So I do all pretty much 90% or well 75% of the building before I get to work on the map itself. So we follow this trail, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a big cave, and I just use old style methods, you could say, to make things. You know, just the good old fashioned days. You know, simpleton, like so. Okay, that was mildly less destructive than I thought it would be. Okay. Anyway, so when this is tip number 1, just to make it interesting. And I'm going to try to keep track of my numbers this time. Last time I kept saying, like, here's step 2, guys. Here's step 2, guys. Here's step 3. We finally made it to step 3. And we're actually 6 steps through. And I actually said things were step 3 like 6 times in a row. That was really funny. But anyway, we're going to get to work, and I'm going to try to keep track of numbers. So, guys, here is tip number 1, and that I would have to say out of this video, and I'll just have some tips as I go along. But tip number 1, if you're going to build a cave, destroy it first and build it later. That's my tip. I don't know if what works out for you better, but I work better destroying things first and then just fixing what's destroyed. I mean, it's not that hard to recreate a, like, that was a little too much TNT. I would really advise you don't go that excessive on TNT. I was just doing that for fun because, you know, we got plenty of time. But anyway, so I'm going to fast speed this part up. Fast speed, I'm a genius. I'm going to fast forward this part where I fix it up and blow up a couple more things and make the cave bigger and make it more suspicious as it goes down into the depths of this deep, deep cave. Anyway, so I'll catch you guys later, and feel free, have fun. I don't know if you guys like the music I put in my videos, but I will have some of my music in the background for you to listen to. Maybe I'll put the elevator music just to troll you guys. Anyway, see you back. Okay, guys, so I'm back, and as you can see, I did a ton of exploding, ton of exploring. I found some diamonds there, if you caught that. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. So now this kind of brings in the component of difficulty. So clearly the players are not going to be able to traverse this entire cave, and sorry, traverse, ha. Clearly the players aren't going to be able to go through this entire cave blindly, so we can give them some torches or whatnot to place on the walls and everything to explore themselves. And this gives the game some length. It gives it some difficulty as well. You can add some mobs. You can leave mob spawning on if you want. You can make it so creepers and whatnot just spawn in the cave. Just make it so the creepers don't break anything. That way nothing terrible happens. But I'm going to use game mode 3 to quickly get down there. Let's see. Okay, this goes down and down and down. That's not natural. I'm looking for the unnatural cave. Here we go. This is unnatural. It's way too wide to be natural. So you go, let's see. There is a lava pathway right here. Here we go. Anyway, so I decided to make it the path end here. And this is where the player is going to encounter some guys that are mining and whatnot. And you think they stole your stuff because they actually have stuff that is exactly the same as yours. So, yeah, so they're gonna think you think that they stole your stuff. So they don't want any trouble, but you fight them, and yeah, you win. And we're gonna make this kind of interesting. So all I have to do is build. This is going to be like an outpost, whatnot. And they're gonna be miners, so we're going to work on building an outpost. So I'm just going to make it look rugged, have some, it's purposefully messy in order to kind of give the look. There we go. And here we can have the building kind of going into the wall. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good enough. 7 blocks wide. Make it as tall as it needs to be. And then have this here. Actually, let's get rid of this. Let's do a little bridge. That should look cool. A little bridge using oak slabs. Not bad. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center it a little better. There we go. Anyway, so this is just some minor stuff that I'm adding. So this is where the story, you meet almost the climax. Not quite. This isn't the climax. You can make a story go longer however you want. Just depends on how you portray it. Anyway, so the player, there's this thing. I'm gonna make sure, yeah, you can get out of here just fine. There we go. Just in case somebody falls. And then here we go. Build that, and I'm gonna work on building this outpost, guys. Anyway, so for this map, for pretty much any map, so now I'm working on the more building pretty much. But yeah, so, and if you're doing a map that involves caves, I would also suggest you use the natural caves that are there, because those can help, and also TNT, because that makes a nice looking cave that if you take your time, it can look really natural. If you just go with what I was doing to go quickly, it ends up looking natural, but a little bit unrealistic because the caves in Minecraft aren't made to be that big. But nonetheless, it works out and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to do a speed build again, and I'm going to be building this, and then I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I built this little miner's outpost. Didn't take me too long, and I purposefully made it look kind of how can I say it, shabby almost, because it's supposed to be a miner's outpost. It's not exactly supposed to be like a 4-star hotel or anything. I'll probably add some lower layers or whatnot. But I did get an idea. So, and it'll probably make this map better because right now I'm not feeling too good about the whole idea of this map because I really made it dumbed down and, well, not dumbed down, but, I made it simple so it'd be easy for, it would work as a good example. Um, but I have some ideas as to how we can deepen the story or what. I don't know. I don't know exactly how I would explain it, but deepen the story or whatnot. And I'm not gonna actually tell you guys what we are doing to do so. When it comes to when you're building your map, just if you come up with think of something that's interesting or a good idea, just I say for my experience, just go with it. Usually, if you get something that you think is a good idea, other people will think it's cool as well. And usually, it's those choices to make things like that you just think off, just out of your head. At least in my experience, and when I just think of something random that I think would be a really good idea, it turns out to be a really good idea, and that is one of the things that makes my maps pretty good and successful. So if you think of something that you think is just like, oh, instantly, we need that. I need to make that in the map. You know what I'm saying? I say just go for it, and it should turn out good. It should turn out just fine. It shouldn't screw up your map usually, because the way you want to go with it is the way you want to go with it. You don't have to follow the plan from the start. Anyway, so we are actually going to make the miners that were in here, and that this is where I'll reveal a little bit. But yeah, there was a little bit of a accident. I don't know how I would explain it, but there was a little bit of a situation that went down, and you're gonna be experiencing some creepy stuff in here, and that's what I intend to happen because, yeah, we're gonna have that. So it's pretty much going to be a haunted miner's outpost, and in the end of the story and later in the series, I will explain why it's a haunted outpost, and you'll probably figure that out towards the end of the map just because I'm building it in front of you. There's only so much I can hide, like seriously. I want to keep some things a surprise just for fun, but yeah, there's only so much I can hide. Anyway, so I think for strategy, I mean, for build-wise, we got quite a bit done today. I think that's where I'm going to end the episode. I spent a good 40 minutes or so working on this today. So yeah, I don't get that much done each episode because making maps does take a while. But if you guys like the series and want to see part 3, just leave a comment or like it, and I will make part 3 sooner, depending on demand, supply and demand, you know. But anyway, that's what I have for you. That's all I have for you guys today. And thanks for watching. If you made it this far through the video, thanks so much for watching. That means you care to either make a map or you care about my channel, and I really love that. You're probably watching this way later than a couple days later than what it actually was made, just because I've started to get into the habit of when I actually have time to record and it's quiet in my house. I'm starting to do many record, well, not many, but like at least 2 or 3 recordings for later dates. That way I can have stuff for you guys instead of just having weeks where I just don't have anything, which I thought was really kind of pathetic. But anyway, I'm sorry about that. For last week, I only had a few videos. But thanks for staying with me, guys. We have a lot more planned for the future. I'm going to hopefully finish this map, and I'll probably post it and see how well it does on Minecraft maps as well. And if it does really well, I don't expect it to do that amazing, but if it does really well, then clearly my tutorial somehow had some effect, or at least what I was doing and what I was applying worked pretty well. So if you find this tutorial useful, just leave a comment or like it. That shows both ways, whether you doesn't matter if you like it or leave a comment. Either way, I noticed that it's useful. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will continue to work on this in the near future, and we are going to be doing more application stuff, like adding in the creepy effects with creepiness and scare the player, I'm going to give away some tips on ways to scare the player and heighten fear without having to use resource packs, because a lot of people do cheap things like do resource packs, and what they do is they like have a really creepy image just flash in your face, and I think that's a little BS because they're not really building the suspense or doing anything. They just jump out of nowhere. That's not a scare. That's not a jump scare. That's a startle. I don't consider that a jump scare. You have to be scared in order to be jump scared. Anyway, but that's just me tirading about some horror maps. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I've said that about 100 times now, but anyway, this is really the end. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later.